Hi, it's Muhammad Ali, the 3 times world champion. Subscribe and like the Triple B Bass to Boxing Basement, cause he the greatest of all time. Yes, thank you, Muhammad. Although I've got to say, you didn't really sound yourself today. You didn't really sound like your voice, but yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And yeah, welcome to the Triple B Show. Now today, right now on this video, I'm going to talk about overrating fighters. You know, like, and British people are especially guilty of this. And by that I mean overrating fighters after they finish their career. You know, the British love to put you down while you're fighting, right? You know, oh, Lennox Lewis is rubbish. Oh, he ain't really English. Oh, he's chinny. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Kaz always slaps you around. Bruno's a bum. He just had a big punch. Oh, Ricky Hatton, well, you know, he just gets by on fitness. You know, British guys love to slate their fighters, and traditionally anyway, you know, because I heard so much, you know, they did such a good job with programming the normies and the NPCs about how amazing Gay J is, you know, that people started to repeat everything. I knew this guy, right? He was a real he's this little white guy, and he don't like foreigners. You know? Yeah, racist a little bit. He liked his gambling. I mean, you know, even he said to me, "Yeah, you know what, Trilby, you know, like, I've got to say, you know, I don't really like them. I don't really like them, do I? But you know, Anthony Joshua, he's different, isn't he? I think he's a great fella. You know, he's a nice guy. You know, he's respectable. You know what I mean? He'd be all right. I wouldn't want him to go out with me daughter or anything." I was like, "Listen, you clown. Joshua's a fraud. He's a wrong'un. He's a cheat. You know, you've just been programmed by the media." The other one, yeah. The thing is, Bruno, like, even when he was active, he used to get it as well. Oh, you know, I don't really like him really coming over here and all that, but that Bruno's all right, isn't he? That Bruno's all right. But yeah, people always thought, people always used to laugh at Bruno and say he was whack at boxing, right? But now he's retired. Usually what happens in the UK, right? You go, you know, well, you get slated while you're boxing there, and then you retire, and then they'll give you like a period where there'll still be sort of, you know, they'll still be repeating what they used to repeat, and then after about 10 years, you know, they'll suddenly change the British public. Yeah? Suddenly they'll really overrate you. Oh, that Bruno, to be honest with you, he's much better than today's champ. He would have knocked out Vladimir Klitschko, you know. That Fury would have caught him at some point and knocked him out, you know. You know, oh, they look at his career, like Bruno especially, it happens with, or you've seen it with other fighters too. But you know, the funny thing with Bruno is they sort of yeah, as I said, you know, they reassess his career. They like reinvent history, and before you know, once he was a bum, and now would dominate the heavyweight title. The heavyweight scene, they always say that, you know, oh, no, I think, you know, none of them could hang with Bruno, apart from maybe Usyk, right? And maybe Tyson, but Bruno would knock out everyone else. Ruiz, he'd knock him out. Joshua's like a worse version of Bruno. He's actually a better version of Bruno, probably. Yeah. Oh, you know, they say Bruno had a bad chin. No, he didn't. He just tended to freeze there. I mean, like, oh, he hasn't got a bad chin, but if you hit him on it, he'll just sit there and freeze and let you unload on him. Like, that means he got a bad chin. And they seem to forget, he actually got flattened by Bone Crusher Smith, like, properly, you know. And like, oh yeah, but listen, mate, he gave the prime Mike Tyson a real fight. No, he didn't. I think he went over after about 15 seconds. He hit Tyson with one shot in the fight, bang on the chin. Yeah, and you got to remember, Bruno's way bigger than Mike Tyson. Bang on the chin. Right, and Reg Gutridge or Harry Carpenter? Get in there, Frank. You know, you got all the emotion. Get in there, Frank. But one shot, yeah, and he staggered Tyson. Right, he didn't put him over. Yeah, he staggered him, and then Tyson went back to beating up Bruno for the rest of the fight. And then the second fight, Bruno coming, you know, like, yeah, crossing himself 100 million times, and he got battered again. Oh, but he got stopped on his feet. Yeah, he just sat there with a stupid look on his face, you know. Like when he fought Lennox Lewis, they reinvented that. Oh, he was dominating Lewis. Really? I think if you look at, I mean, the scorecards, right away, are not always trustworthy. So let's, in any fight, right? In any fight, But let me see. So two judges had it even. One judge had Bruno ahead, right? And yeah, he gave Lennox some trouble, but Lennox just taking a bit of time to warm up. But they'll be, oh, listen, mate, he's probably, Bruno, the trouble he gave Lennox. And Lennox is another one that they used to not, well, the Americans especially used to not rate him, but now, he dominated today. Well, I mean, Lewis was a good fighter, and he'd definitely be there right at the top tonight, but not Bruno, man. Just because he gave, he hit Lewis with a few jabs. Everyone can have an off night, and that wasn't even really an off night. He still battered Bruno. Yeah, but didn't get Bruno over. Yeah, Bruno sat there with a stupid look on his face. Yeah, with one eye closed, getting battered in the 7th round. That's a dominant performance and a dominant finish. He won a couple of rounds with his jabs. So what, man? Bruno struggled against Ray Mercer, and a couple of other guys. Who else did Lennox struggle with, man? Huh? I mean, there is a few guys he struggled with. Zelko Mavrovich went the distance, yeah? What, is he now the greatest of all time? At least he went the distance. He didn't get battered on the ropes by, like Bruno. What, is he now one of the greatest of all time? I mean, people are just stupid, man. Yeah? People are just stupid and they reinvent it. Oh, yeah. And I was asked, what are Bruno's big wins? When people talk about Bruno, what they can do is say, oh, he did so well against Mike Tyson, he almost knocked him out. No, he didn't. He hit him with one shot, and it didn't do much to him. Oh, and he gave Lennox his hardest fight. No, he didn't. Lennox also got knocked out twice. Yeah, he gave him a bit of trouble, not much. He just got battered in round 7. Yeah, that's halfway through the fight. He made it. Big deal. You know what I'm saying? This kind of what they call it when you reinvent history. Do you know that expression? Well, that's what they do with Bruno. And you go, yeah, okay, yeah, and you got absolutely flattened by Bone Crusher Smith. Yeah, but Bone Crusher Smith was world champion. Yeah, he wasn't that good. He wasn't world champion at the time. Witherspoon, a fat Tim Witherspoon battered him. Yeah, but Tim was an underrated fighter. Yeah, he was actually Tim. But I mean, these guys knocked him out. So who is best wins? Well, it's not just that, is it? No. All they can do is bring up his losses. And Oliver McCall, he won. Now, Oliver McCall, being on the pipe. With crying when he went in the ring. Oliver McCall was a very tough guy, and yeah, of course he knocked out Lennox Lewis, but that was the kind of one in a million punch. Apart from that, now McCall's main thing was his incredible chin. It has to be the best ever because he's a heavyweight as well. You got your Lamottas, but even Lamotta went down, although one of them was fake, I think, against Billy Fox, but. And Lamont got stopped on the ropes by Sugar Ray Robinson, much like Bruno. But the difference is, Oliver McCall's a heavyweight. I don't think I've ever seen him hurt his head like a cannonball, man, a cannonball. But he wasn't he's basically a sort of, obviously he's above a journeyman, but he was a sort of professional sparring partner for Tyson and stuff like this, and he was very tough. But his offense wasn't the greatest. I think he retired with about 14 losses. That's not, did he deserve to be heavyweight? I mean, well, yeah, of course he knocked out Lewis, but I mean, he's still quality-wise, without that chin, right? Without that chin, he would have been nothing. Because his offense wasn't. He could hit. Yeah, he could hit. He knocked out. Who else did he knock out? He knocked out in a really early fight, right? What's that Russian dude called? Who knocked out Hasim Ruckman. Let me have a look, man. What's his name, man? He knocked him out in a round. But it was only his 6th fight, right? Oleg Maskaev. Oleg Maskaev, right. So, yeah, I mean, McCall's got his wins, right? He knocked out Francesco Damiani, or the Damiani who's beating him. He just hit him right on the end of the nose, right? And McCall's got lots of ordinary-ish guys. All in Norris at heavyweight was not that great. James Buster Douglas, apart from a Tyson fight, where Tyson basically didn't train and spent his whole time in, I think, coke with Tupac. Yeah. Joey Crystal beat him on points, but that was early on in his career. Tony Tucker, all these guys are solid, but they're not exactly amazing. And like Bruno, hanging on. Oh, the guy I was looking for, sorry, was of course Oleg Maskayev. Now that's a good win by McCall, but that was only Oleg's sixth fight, and he was always a bit chinny. But Bruno, I mean, Oliver McCall, like, he was having a breakdown, apparently being on the crack pipe all the time. Obviously, he still made the distance, but he almost stopped Bruno near the end. Bruno was exhausted. So, okay, Bruno beat Oliver McCall. Well, so did, with all respect, I don't mean to be mean, so did 14 other people. Eh? And like I said, McCall was on a crack binge, and he almost knocked out Bruno the bum. What else? Who else? Jerry Coetzee. Now Jerry Coetzee I like, and he could certainly fight, but by the time he came over, he wasn't interested. He brought his family over for a holiday. Apparently didn't train properly, and yeah, it's still a good win, bombing Jerry out and around. He just got caught early, and that's it. Those are his wins. Those are Bruno's wins. A crackhead Oliver McCall, his main claim is his chin. Jerry Coetzee, who didn't train again, and then they go, but Bruno, he still gave Tyson his best fight. No, he didn't. Like I said, he hit him with one shot. Yeah, and what about, and he gave Lennox Lewis his best fight. No, he didn't. Hasim Rahman and Oliver McCall and knocked him out, probably giving better fights. And as I said, Bruno's still sitting on the ropes with a stupid look on his face in round 7. Ahead on one judge's scorecard. I mean, come on, man. And now, all these people now in the modern era, the heavyweights are nothing. Bruno would have walked through most heavyweights in the last, 15 years. Oh, he would have dominated Klitschko. He would have knocked Vladimir out. I hear that a lot. He would have knocked Vladimir out. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a possibility because of his punch. And Vlad was a bit chinny, but, there's 10% chance maybe? There's always a chance if you can punch, right? It's funny how they rewrite history, people. But yeah, Bruno's the worst example. Bruno, I don't mean disrespectful. He did a lot for boxing in Britain. Yeah, people liked him. People still like him. But his boxing, unless you were a not very skilled or small guy and he could just batter you by bullying you, it wasn't that good. He's just a big bully with a big punch, and he was well matched, very well promoted and very well matched. This you would have knocked out Vladimir Klitschko and Fury probably on the same night. There's people that actually believe that kind of nonsense. There's no way you six would have a chance, he'd be too small. Well, apart from the fact Bruno actually, the first half of his career he weighed about 220, let's not forget that. Usyk would have just run rings around him. I think Gage is a better version of Bruno. He's got a few more skills than Bruno. But anyway, there you go, man. This kind of overrating thing, probably in about 5 years' time, people start going, Ricky Hatton could beat anyone in this era. Yeah, he could beat Canelo. He would have beaten Canelo, no problem. His work rate would have been too much for Canelo. So, well, hang on, Canelo isn't even at his weight. Yeah, but if Hatton had fought him as a welterweight, or some nonsense like that. Fucking British people are just mad. Anyway, peace in the Middle East.